of us are aware that it is smart to save for the big ticket items that we want to purchase. A vacation, a new laptop, a new mobile. But have you ever thought that you can purchase your retirement? Or perhaps we have never thought that we can purchase our retirement. But that's exactly what we do. We pay today for a better tomorrow, a tomorrow where we would be retiring from the job, the daily routine that we follow. And that is the agenda for this video lecture. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Durdana Awais, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, the Bhopal School of Social Sciences. Let's study about retirement planning. Retirement is a stage in life when one chooses to leave the workforce. It is a stage in life because it is not just related to the numbers. Nowadays, people are retiring at the age of 30, 40, 50. It is just not associated with a particular health condition, a stage where you think your body is now requiring more rest. And in that stage, one chooses to leave the workforce. Now, workforce includes all the people who are there in the employment and live off sources of income or saving that do not require active work. Your active participation in the labor force and following the daily routine, even taking vacations or leave as per the directions or requirement of the job. Retirement in general sense is that time of your life when you no longer need to work to live comfortably. And therefore, you can rely on all these savings and passive forms of income that you have saved to fund your current lifestyle. The word retirement is of recent origin and is a result of industrial revolution and the increased life expectancy. Just a little more than a century ago, this term was used to signify that time period when the individual can quit the workforce and start living off the pensions, the social securities that are provided. But over the years, it was realized that the life expectancy has increased. There are much more conditions that are included, and therefore there is a requirement for planning. And what is a plan? Now, retirement plan is a systematic plan which is kept by an individual for setting aside a part of their income which they are currently generating for future requirement. As you all know that any plan is not successful if prior thinking and efforts are not put into. Similarly, a retirement plan also requires careful thinking and planning. Retirement planning therefore encompasses determining what are our income goals and what are the decisions that needs to be taken to achieve these goals. Before, of course, we retire. These goals, these plans have to be accomplished before we decide to retire. And the process of this retirement planning includes sizing up our expenses, identifying the sources of income and creating a saving plan and managing our current assets so that we can live off in a better way in future. As such, we can define retirement planning as a financial strategy, a set of financial strategies of saving, investment and ultimately how we are distributing our money that is meant to sustain ourselves not only in the current situation but in anticipation of our future requirements. And it takes into account, this retirement planning takes into account not only our assets and income but also what will be our future expenses, our future liabilities and also our life expectancy. Now, One important question that comes up in our mind is, why plan for retirement? Well, there are these 5 key points that makes us to ensure a successful retirement plan. First is independence. Every one of us wants to be independent, and this is exactly true after our retirement year, where we do not want to depend on our family members, social security or any other schemes, social service scheme that is provided. At this stage, it is important to have our own financial resources, and at that time retirement planning comes into view. Secondly, due to increased life expectancy. This increased life expectancy have resulted in people enjoying a more longer life. Earlier, a person retiring at 60, 65 was expected to spend 10, at most 12 or 15 years after retirement, but now with improved medical facilities and quality of medical assistance, one can expect to live a longer and healthier life. At that time, to meet the medical expenses, it is through successful retirement planning that the funds are available. Thirdly, the medical costs are increasing. Although the medical facilities are improving, but the costs are also increasing. And there are a lot of costs that are there after retirement. Your day-to-day expenses, your traveling expenses, your commuting expenses, although they have reduced, but there is one cost or expenses that keeps on increasing. With age and with the different medical conditions, the cost of these medical expenses or medical facilities, they keep on increasing. And an individual can neglect other costs or other expenditures. They can cut, but medical expenses cannot be cut short. Here again, a successful planning for retirement ensures that you have regular funds flowing in to meet these expenditures. Fourthly, tax relief. Any person who is earning want to save their money. Okay, one important way to save is through tax relief that are given by the government. The government also have realized that tax saving can be done through or can be provided through the retirement investment that is done by individuals. As such, all the amount that is put into retirement planning are also the amount that goes into your tax saving. And lastly, that is peace of mind. This is the last reason, but this peace of mind is the result of careful planning for your retirement. This also includes your financial plans, all the expenses that are estimated by an individual, and this comes by careful understanding of the future requirements where retirement planning is helpful. Once we know the importance of retirement planning, then let's understand the retirement planning goals. When we are planning for retirement, there are 4 specific areas in which goals are set. First is the lifestyle goal, second is the timeline goal, and third is the retirement saving plan, fourthly the long-term planning. Lifestyle goal helps us to understand what will be our lifestyle, what we want, how we want to live our life after retirement. Second is timeline. Timeline means our decision as to when we would want to retire, whether we want to retire at 30, 35, 40, 50, and according to that time determining how much we need to save. As such, the timeline goal helps us answer one basic question, that is when. When would we like to retire? The retirement saving plans, once we have decided when we want to retire, the retirement saving plans help us to understand what are the options available for us to invest our hard-earned money for future. And lastly, long-term planning enables us to include in our planning what are the future requirements, taking into consideration the inflation, the value of money in future, the increasing cost. All these things are considered under long-term planning. As such, the main objective of financial planning is to achieve financial independence after retirement. This financial independence is also reflected in our emotional attachments that we have, what hobbies that we want to pursue, what goals we want to pursue after retirement, whether we want to have our own venture or we want to pursue a hobby or take a vacation of a new place. Then, after discussing these, is a question coming to your mind that when should you start planning for retirement? Well, before that, let us look at 5 sentences. First, if you think that you are too young to start saving for retirement, then just reconsider the statement. The retirement age is decreasing. Retirement is not only about an age where your body requires more rest. Retirement is also about stopping your current work routine and choosing or pursuing your hobby or passion and working for a new venture. Secondly, for those, if you think you are too late to save for retirement, again, there are various plans and options that are available, and these plans and options are available in 2 formats. One, immediate annuity, and second, deferred annuity. In the first option, you pay a lump sum amount and immediately from the next month you start receiving your pension. In second, pension or the money flow will start occurring every month. In second, deferred annuity, where you pay a lump sum amount and after some time you start receiving money. Third statement, if you think you don't have enough to invest, then think again. Even with a limited income, you can save a part of that income monthly, because we know small amounts that are saved today, they only grow to larger funds. Fourthly, if you think your inheritance is enough to cover all your expenses, then you have to think again, because these inheritance may be in the form of land or any precious material. They need to be sold off, and when they need to be sold off, their price and the amount that you receive, they will depend upon market prices and market conditions, which we all know are highly uncertain. And lastly, if you think post-retirement your expenses will decrease significantly, have a look again. Although some expenses will decrease, but it is your other expenses, your medical expenses, your healthcare expenses, your helping hands requirement will increase. As such, all these 5 statements are myths and which need to be relooked, and accordingly, retirement planning has to be undertaken. Which leads us to our next topic, that is importance of retirement planning. Retirement planning helps us in catering to 3 important areas. That is, addressing our medical expenses after we retire. Secondly, it helps in fighting inflation, because inflation increases the cost of the products. What we save now might not be enough for tomorrow. As such, retirement planning comes in the picture and helps us to assess how much we should be saving in for future. And lastly, it ensures everyone to have financial independence, which will result in peace of mind and which will ensure that we are not dependent on anyone else. Lastly, there are certain tips for retirement planning. These tips include, first and foremost, start investing early. Secondly, choose a right retirement age. With the options that are available to us, determine whether you want to pursue a hobby or want to learn a new skill, want to quit the current job, And all these things are possible if you start saving at an early age as well as investing. Thirdly, calculate your retirement expenditure or spendings. This in turn will depend upon your retirement goals. Fourthly, cut down on your unnecessary expenses to save each and every penny that can be saved for a better tomorrow. And lastly, start estate planning. Whatever money you have, that can be put into better use. So, in this video lecture, we have understood about retirement, retirement plan, retirement planning goals, why we should plan for retirement. We also had looked at the main objectives of retirement planning, tips for retirement planning, and we also covered 5 myths about retirement planning. That was all for this video lecture. Keep learning, keep growing.